Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed my article this month. We're taking a little different direction now moving forward where I'm going to start doing how I plan the shot instead of the assistance manual. I figured it's probably a little bit easier for people to relate to the planning of the shot versus being an assistant because most people are photographers and not assistants. So anyway, this shot I talk about is from a shoot this past July in Iceland. This one specifically was in a small town in the southern coast of Iceland called Vik. I mean, just absolutely breathtaking. Everywhere you would drive 5 miles and it would be these mossy lava fields. Another 5 miles and it would be a mountain right on the side of the road. Another 5 miles, bluebonnet fields. Another 5 miles, it looks like you were on Mars. It was incredible. Best experience of my life. So I talk about the steps of planning the shoot and what went into something like this. And you always want to start with determining the goal of the shoot. What is this going to be for? We used to have this problem where we would try to overcomplicate every shoot we did, and every shoot would end up being a complete disaster. We'd go into something, we'd hire a model, we'd get this wardrobe, this beautiful concept, and then we're like, okay, let's film an episode of Shutter Network. Oh, and also let's film a promo video for ProPhoto while we're here. Let's also do a promo video for Sal while we're here. Oh, and by the way, we need to be focusing on our own portfolio in general. Get shots for print comp. As you can imagine, everything would implode, and we would maybe walk away with a picture that was okay. So not worth the money, not worth the time invested. So it's really important to start in the very beginning and determine the goal of the shoot, meaning what are you doing this shoot for? Is it for your portfolio? Are you doing this shoot to just showcase your travels? Is this just for fun and you don't really have a goal and you're just trying to build your skills? Determine that from the beginning so you don't overcomplicate it and end up with nothing. So first for me, I always go into finding a location for the shoot. So I use Pinterest pretty much all the time. And we knew that we were going to Iceland. We had, I think, 5 days in Iceland, and the sun never set while we were there. We were there in the summer, so it was like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, still light enough to be shooting. So it was pretty awesome. So we're like, okay, let's take every possible scene that we like about Iceland, put it into a Pinterest board, and then use that kind of as our drawing board where we'll go from here. As you can see, I mean, this place doesn't even look real. So I shared this with Sal, and we were going through everything, and he'd be like, ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that. That's a definite yes. That's a definite yes. So he would pick his top places from here, and that's when I go in and, I knew this was the first one that drew his eye. He saw this picture, and he's like, we're going there, and we're spending forever there. So what's cool about Pinterest is if you can click on an image like this, sometimes you can even click on this. It'll take you to a site and sometimes might even tell you where it is. So this one specifically, let's see. Yeah, like this one tells you the camera settings and everything, which is crazy. This one wasn't so easy to find, but I think there was another picture that was almost exactly like this. And it ended up having the name of it. Of course, now I can't find it anywhere. The name of it is Locky. And I found that through doing this. You're like, okay, I like this. Okay, let's look a little bit. Mossy lava fields, Iceland. So it comes back here. Look at the images. Yes, this is exactly what we want. So where the heck are these things? Lava field. Everything just says lava field. And after, I could spend days searching for stuff like this. And then you end up just finding it. And of course, right now I can't find it anywhere, but it's the one I found is Locky lava field, Iceland. This is the one that we had our heart set on. So we're like, okay, let's start the planning now. So we were staying in Vik, Iceland, like I said, on the southern coast. So Locky, Iceland, we were in Vik, Iceland. Check this out. This happens so frequently, I can't even tell you. Sorry, we cannot calculate the directions from Vic to Lucky. Awesome. So now what? So from here, don't give up. I mean, obviously there's a way to get there. Maybe you don't need to go this deep into what it looks like. I mean, it's all green. Looks like this could, in theory, all be that lava area. So what I do is I try to find roads on these maps, like that can even give me an idea. Drag and drop right here. No idea how to pronounce that, but maybe that's right. This is just to get me a general idea of how far it's probably going to be. So this was only an hour and a half. Yes, we're doing it for sure. So from here, I can pitch this to Sal and be like, okay, it's going to take us an hour and a half to get there. Maybe along the way, I can check out this one. No idea what this is called, but you click on it, copy and paste. What's this? Maybe this is cool. And it's like a halfway point on our way to there. Yeah. You could do some cool stuff. So just an idea. You know, even if something's an hour and a half away and you're driving, especially if you're driving, take that as an opportunity to pitch the idea or put your itinerary together with multiple different shooting opportunities along the way. So it's not just an hour and a half in the car for one shot and then, in theory, 3 hours round trip. So from here, I'm still going to keep looking for the Lucky lava fields tours. So, yeah, look at this. Where's the Lucky Lava Fields Road? I didn't even see this before. So also, I mean, it's almost impossible to find something that you find so intriguing and then search Google and not find forums where people are asking the exact same questions. People have blogs. Speaking of blogs, that's what took me to this whole thing. It's you know, I was looking up Iceland information and I ended up finding this blog from this girl. She's a photographer. I think she's from Canada. She went to Iceland on this like self-portrait tour of Iceland. She had this red dress. I mean, the most incredible images I think I've ever seen in my life. Elizabeth Gadd is her name. Iceland blog. There it is. I mean, I saw this. We were in Paris right before we were getting ready to leave for Iceland. And I was like, oh my God, I hit jackpot. I'm just reading through this. And she's talking about all the different spots we want to go to. I mean, this is everything we imagined Iceland to be. This, I showed Sal this. He's like, yes, I want this shot there. The girl in a red dress. Make it happen. Obviously, we didn't do the red dress. We didn't want to make it exactly like hers. But so I'm reading more of her stuff, and yeah, it's visually pleasing, but it's important to read what people are saying. So she's talking about her trip and what she experienced, and in her words, I found that these mossy lava fields, excuse me, are everywhere. I mean, you don't have to go into the mountains and hire some day tour that was going to be like $800, and we'd be stuck on this off-roading car with a bunch of other people that we didn't know. So we didn't have to go all the way right here. We were staying here, and I think we drove along the coast up until about right here. And there, I mean, honestly, it's like we came around a corner, and it was just lava fields. Everywhere lava fields. I mean, I'm not kidding. Please excuse the terrible, terrible shaky footage here, but this, I was holding it out the window. This is what we saw, just everywhere.
Maybe a couple 100 yards.
I like this guy right here to the right.
Yeah, there was a bigger one up on the left.
How cool is that? And then, of course, when we get there, we park. These things were honestly like...
This is like a bed.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's
like
better than a bed.
Tempur-Pedic.
Oh.
Getting your stretch in for the day? Huh?
And what was incredible was the lava, or the moss, actually acted as like a like soundproofing foam almost. It was silent. It was the most peaceful thing I think I've ever experienced. So yeah, more of this lava. We had to go off-road a little bit to get the right one at least. From the road, it was a little bit more flat, but then once we got into it, that's when you got to see the mounds. So anyway, from there, I think when it comes to planning, it's just important to do your research and take the time. Read people's blogs, read their advice on where to go, what not to do, what to avoid. And then something like this. This is going back to determining the goal of your shoot. For us, if we were doing this just for the portfolio. So we knew that we could do something far enough away, and you can see here, Taylor and I are walking up to like this peak right here. This is his vision. He's all the way back in here, laying down, using the lines of the lava field, leading you straight up to me right here. We knew I was far enough away that it wouldn't matter what my face looked like, and I'd be facing away from the camera anyway. So did we need to hire a model for $1,000 for the day? No, especially in a situation like this, because it was kind of a crapshoot for us. We didn't know if we were going to be driving forever and maybe never actually find the lava fields or not. So something like that, it's good to have a team with you that can, just adapt. And we took 24 dresses with us on this trip because we knew we were going to have multiple days with abilities to shoot nonstop. And we wanted the ability to just pick a day and explore and see what we get. And that was some of the most magical stuff we found. It was just the exploration, especially in Iceland. So it's, when you're determining the goal of the shoot, you have to decide what's worth it for you. Is it worth the investment to hire a professional model? Yes, absolutely, yes. For every shoot, not necessarily. Is it worth the investment of your time to spend trying? Listen to him. I mean, we're so far apart. This is him screaming, and we could barely hear him. It was so windy that day, but it was actually surprisingly quiet enough that he could yell and we could still hear him. So anyway, yes, is it worth it for you to spend your time doing research? Absolutely, yes. Especially if you're going to be investing money in the wardrobe, in the model, in your team being overseas. It's worth it to know that when you travel to these locations, you're not going to be surprised when you get there and something's not there or something's not what it seems like in the pictures you found online because they were photoshopped. So I hope this helps. If you read through the article, it'll go a little bit more in depth on the exact process I used. But like I've shown you before, planning board, always. So what's your location? Who's your model? What's your wardrobe? What's your concept? This is the formula. It works like a charm. Staying organized is the key to success always. So check back next month. I'm going to be talking about the stylized engagement shoot. I'll talk to you then.